I hate going to sleep in my room. It always watches me from my closet, and it always talks to me. The first occurrence was when I was 6 years old. I remember laying in my bed about to go to sleep when I heard shuffling in my closet. At that age, I only assumed the worst, and I was right. All I heard for 10 minutes straight was that shuffling in the night-lit and silent room. Then suddenly, the shuffling stopped. I remember only hearing the sound of my heart pounding as I lied there frozen with fear.
"Do you want to be friends?"
A crude whisper from my closet said. I slowly cricked my head to where my closet was and saw one wide open eye looking at me intensely from inside the cracked opening of my closet door. I instantly screamed for my mother. Then suddenly, I heard the thing in my closet go,
"Oh, shit,"
followed by new aggressive shuffling. There were also noises that the thing made that didn't seem familiar to anything I've ever heard in my closet before. It sounded almost industrial. Moments later, my mother burst through the door.
"Are you okay, sweetie?"
She said with worry as she held me in her arms. I then explained the situation about the thing in my closet. "There's a monster with big eyes in my closet, and it wants to be my friend," I exclaimed while sobbing. "And it says curse words too." My mother's face went calm, and she gave a sigh of relief.
"You don't need to scare me like that. I thought you were hurt."
She said.
"It was just a bad dream, sweetie. You need to get some sleep."
Before she walked out my door, I asked her if she could check my closet for assurance. She walked over to the closet door, turned the knob, and opened it. And nothing. The same stuff as before, and as it was left. No one was in there.
"See? Nothing is in your closet."
She reassured me.
"Now, get some rest because we've got a big day tomorrow."
She walked over to me, tucked me back into bed, gave me a kiss, and turned my light off before walking out and closing the door. I didn't see or hear the monster for the rest of the night. The next occurrence happened when I was 10. Right before I went to bed, me and my mother was discussing my father and my big brother. They both died when I was a baby, so I really don't have any fond memories of them. That void does weigh on my heart though. My mother explained that they died in a car accident and told me stories about how my father would come home from work every day and sit down on the floor to play with me and my brother. It almost made me cry every time she would tell me stories of them. She soon signaled me to go to bed. I gave her one last hug and kiss before marching up to my room. As I was lying in bed about to doze off, I heard a sound that shook my nerves to its very core. It was that shuffling again. This time, the thing in my closet didn't hesitate to speak to me.
"So you don't want to be friends? I see how it is,"
said the maliced, raspy voice. I was panicked just like the first time, but instead of screaming for my mother, I wanted to get out of that room. I leaped up from my bed and made for the bedroom door. However, as soon as I got to the doorknob, the monster screamed,
"Get back in bed or I'll cut your eyes out."
I stopped for a split moment to consider the monster's warning, but I wasn't standing there any longer with that thing. When I got downstairs, all I could think about was running to my mother's arms, but I know that she wouldn't believe me. From then until I moved out, I slept on the couch. I had occasional nightmares about the monster in my closet that made me develop insomnia. I lost touch with my mother a couple of years ago, but one of the last things she told me was that she moved out of that house we lived in. Last year, I decided that I needed to put my demons to rest. I've had too many restless nights, and it was starting to affect my job in college. So I went to visit the house. After settling things with real estate, I was able to get inside. I walked up to my old room and there it was. I was trembling with fear, imagining a grotesque being jumping out at me once I got too close. But I quickly pushed that thought out of my mind and pushed on. I slowly started to open the closet door and then flung it open in anticipation. And like before, nothing. Even all my old clothes were gone, except one, a jacket on the floor. I moved the jacket and, to my surprise, there was a body-sized metal plate under it. I moved the plate and, as I expected, there was a hole. I've heard about cases like these, where criminals would hide in secret compartments and tunnel through an occupied resident's house. If that's my case, then whoever done this to me was really sadistic. My fear turned into curiosity, and I was ready to put this nightmare to rest. I crawled through the hole and noticed that it was actually a huge air duct. That explained the unusual noises. I kept crawling until I saw the end of the tunnel, which was a wall vent. Eager to see which part of the house my creeper was venturing from, I popped open the vent and crawled out. My face drained in color. It was my mother's room. How could she do this to me? I softly said as I slowly walked forward, traumatized. I then nudged a piece of bowed-up floor accidentally. Numb in emotion, I lifted the wooden board up. There were 3 coffins in the floor. A normal-sized one, a small one, and one more that was the size of a 10-year-old. I was better off thinking it was a monster.